everyone, and welcome back for yet another FRW podcast episode. Last episode, we talked a little bit about balling on a budget and what that can look like if, you're a starving college student or you're just really poor with your money decisions and you still want to go to raves. We laid it all out for you. So in this episode, we thought we would talk about customer service. And we're going to start with how, we started out with the company. Mike's going to give us some woes. And we're going to introduce a very key component to the running of FRW, which is our good friend Makenna. Makenna is not only the social media manager, but she is also the customer service specialist. So Makenna, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, so I got into raving about 2 years ago. My first festival was Hard Summer 2016, and then I started with Freedom Ravewear back in January when I first moved to San Diego. I came to the warehouse sale and asked for a job and ended up getting an interview, and the rest is history.
Very nice. That's really awesome. You go shopping and they just offer you a job.
Yeah, how did that work out? I forget. Remind me. What was,
I talked
were
to
you
Alyssa.
scared? Oh, okay. You're talking to Alyssa?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
I got the sales associate thing just for like the sale going on at the moment, and then ended up asking for an interview and to see if you guys had any more work, and you did. So.
Cool. Nice. Great decision.
It's a great decision.
Who made that hiring decision? That's so smart.
Great on them. So as I said, we're going to talk a little bit about customer service. And Mike has expressed to me that as a company, Freedom Ravewear has always tried their best to give the best customer service possible. But obviously it doesn't always start at the best. There's always a starting point. So Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about the starting point and how that differs from the place you guys are today?
Yeah, so it's really interesting because I have to pull off cobwebs. It seems like it was only 4 years ago when we started, but looking back is kind of hard to do because we're always focused on where are we now, where are we going. But when we started, and I think it's really important for any brand that wants to truly give good service, is that you have to actually want it. And so when we were hustling with business cards in our pockets at, Mad Decent Block Party, it was, if you buy something from us and you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. We just wanted sales, and we wanted people to buy it and give us a chance. And our hope was that they did like it, and if they didn't, we would do anything we could to just make sure the relationship was still fine. The money didn't matter. Take the money back. We wanted that to be a focus for us. And so from that point, it's been easier to grow and develop with the customer service first, because it was so important to us from the beginning. And we knew that you can't be a growing company if you are leaving a trail of destruction in every relationship that you have on the way there. So that's kind of where we started.
Very true. Yeah, don't burn bridges if you're trying to get places. Can you think back to any times, either Makenna or Mike, where probably wasn't handled the best way possible, and looking back on it now, what you would probably do to make that situation a little less awkward, a little better, what have you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with the funny one first.
Okay.
Because when we did festivals for a long time, the customer service came in lots of different forms, and I think one area where if I could go back, I might do it a little differently, because I think I made someone feel bad, even though they deserve to feel bad, and I'll explain it. I shouldn't have done what I did. Ooh. So that's the intro to it. We were at Beyond Wonderland, and Alyssa was doing something behind the table. I was probably not paying attention like I should have, as typical in the booth. And she's like, Mike. And she's like, she's taking our leggings. And I look back and I see this girl, and she's just walking off with the leggings. And she's just going around the corner, and then I'm like, oh shoot. So I run out to go and get her. But before I went up to her, because what are you gonna do? It's a weird and awkward situation for myself, and also for the person who's trying to steal. So she's 30 yards off, beyond the back of our booth at this point, and I like catch up to her and I'm like, hey, like, where are you going? She's like, I was going to like try it on.
Okay.
The booth is back that way, you know, and I tried to like handle it as best I could, but I had this like this feeling where I wanted to like teach her a lesson, and I don't think that's the way to go about it. But what I ended up doing was I had her, were you trying to steal that? Just like straight up. She's like, no. I'm like, okay, why are you back here? Like, come on, don't sugarcoat this. I was like, I wasn't. I was just trying to try it on. I'm like, all right, well, she's like, I'll buy it if you want me to. And I was like, well, yeah, it's in your hand and the booth's that way. So I was like, well, let's just walk back to the front of the booth. And we go back to the front, and I talked with her for like 10 minutes, you know, and here's like the weird thing about it. As I'm talking to her, I have this like epiphany, and it was because on her hand there was a tattoo, and it said PLUR on her hand, and it was like, and I told her, I was like, you have plur tattooed on your hand. Like, I'm out here selling handmade goods. We're out here trying, you know. And she's like, I promise, I'll buy it. I'm sorry. I was like, I'll only let you buy it if you admit that you were trying to steal it. And she's like, okay, I was trying to steal it.
Oh!
And at that point, like, it felt like, okay, this is good. This is a nice thing for me to do. But at the end of the day, like, I don't think that if I could go back, I would do things differently. Like, I think I made her feel really bad. Like, you're stealing, like, for sure. But from customer service standpoint, there is and she was an attempted customer. I don't know how to qualify that. Right? She wanted to be a customer without paying.
Yeah.
So this is a unique circumstance. And anyway, it was just I wasn't coming from a good place. Like, no. I was trying to make her feel bad, and that isn't what we do. And I mean, even like McKenna knows, like, now when we have customer service requests, it's always like, how do we make sure that we put ourselves in the shoes of the person that's there and not let them feel bad.
Yeah.
So
So stealing is, you know, it's not good ever, but if you're gonna steal, why are you gonna steal from like a mom and pop shop? Like, go to Walmart or something, you know what I mean? Like a huge corporation where they're not gonna feel the hurt.
They're stealing your money anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
They have offshore workers.
Yeah. So that was one of those instances, and I mean, like, I know it's not exactly a customer, but it was just to the feeling. There's been other times where, you know, it's hard for me to think about times where we haven't done the most we possibly could for somebody within reason. I mean, if someone needs something the next day and they ordered a day before their event, you really make it hard for us to like deliver an exceptional experience.
Yeah.
So
that's just obviously even FedEx, the best that they can give you is 2-day shipping, unless you want to pay an obscene amount of money for overnight.
Yeah.
And then it's probably going to be more expensive than the piece you bought in the first place.
Exactly.
But I just want to go back to that first story for a second. Like, the irony of the plur on her knuckles just really drives that home.
It was wild. And I was amped up. Okay? I was amped up.
On your pre-workout?
I was so amped up on pre-workout. And it was so weird. I mean, if you guys can just imagine, like, this moment we were talking to someone, and then you, like, it was almost like the plur just, like, stood out from her hand, like almost separated from her hand. It was like, yeah, what is occurring here? Lady, you have plur on your hand. You're at a rave, and you are stealing. Get it together.
Oh my god.
So, anyway, it was a good time. But, I don't know. I think that for customer service in general, like, I mean, McKenna, you know, what's the last, like, difficult thing that you've had to deal with?
Complicated exchanges or returns.
What?
Just people will be requesting for things that were different from their original order and, like, trying to pay less for different things. I don't know how to explain.
Oh, like that one that you had where the girl tried to return it when you guys were having, or she bought it when you guys were having the warehouse sale, mm-hmm. and then she wanted to get other things for the same price or something.
Yeah, they wanted their exchange at the sale price rather than the price that it's normally posted at, even though the sale was going on weeks prior.
Yeah, retroactive sales, you know that. Yeah, so we don't do that good at customer service typically.
No.
But,
Well, that's generally a rule of thumb. Any company you go to, you get a warehouse item sale, you usually can't even exchange it. It's usually final sale. Anything that's on sale for that matter. So the fact that you guys are actually returning things that are on sale I think that's pretty awesome. That's higher than most other companies would go.
Yeah, we try. I mean, as long as it's not like we just shout out to our new final sale section on the website.
Hey.
We just started that to be able to get more of the products that are just a little bit off. Maybe the tension was a little too loose or a little too tight, where most people aren't even going to notice it. But for us, we couldn't sell it at the normal price point that we do. So anyone who's looking to save a lot of money, go check out that section on the website, because there are some serious deals. Makenna put it up yesterday. How many sold?
I think all but 2, so I think 12 items sold within a matter of hours.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's a steal. I mean, we're talking bottoms for $5-10.
What?
Yeah.
That's
so,
crazy. That's crazy. It's just because they were different sizes, or
just things a little bit off about them, not quite perfect, not quite perfect.
The misfits of the group.
Exactly, the as is. So stuff like that, we we're trying to enhance the experience for as many people as possible, because the bottom line is that to produce really nice products in San Diego, paying people the best that we can, and not slave wages in another country, doing our part to make society better, it has a certain cost.
Yeah.
And that is still a little too much for someone who has, maybe student loans to pay, or a car payment, or they're, paying rent. So it's hard to pay for a $40 bottom sometimes.
Yeah,
but it should be good to serve that part of the market where, $5-10 is good enough.
Yeah, for sure.
We've also got our new daily deals section.
Yeah.
Ooh, daily deals. Why don't you tell us about that?
So every day, right, we'll be posting a new or an item that's on our site that will just be major discounts.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
Check that every day.
50% off right now. Tulum Sportiva top, 50% off.
Dang.
Which is a W.
Dang.
Yeah.
You guys, we're even bringing our Ballin' on a Budget segment into this episode right now.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it triggered it. Maybe it was oh man, how can we just keep giving something a little bit more?
How can we help our fellow ravers ball on a budget?
Exactly.
So can you guys think of times with customer service that you were wow, I just really handled that like a rock star, or wanted to shout out some customer that was really understanding about something, or something to that nature?
Do you want this, Makenna?
I don't know.
Well, so as far as things that stand out, there was, and I think Alyssa briefly mentioned this to you a little bit ago. We had a call. Well, Alyssa answered the call, and this lady went off on her about a package that had been returned to the post office. And I understand why some customers might think that that we still have some part in the package being delivered to the final point, but we don't. As soon as it leaves our office, there's nothing we can do about it. We get put on the same 3-hour hold with USPS or FedEx as everybody else, so we want to help that, but she wasn't having any of it, and she ended up screaming at Alyssa, saying her daughter was never gonna shop with her again, and she hung up on her. And it's funny when I was standing right there. It's you just see Alyssa going from trying to manage to then being hung up on, and she went
ballistic.
She was so mad. She was so mad. And I mean, for sure, I understand too, because for Alyssa, and this might go for other people who are designers, you need to be self-aware enough to know if you're the type of person that can handle customer service. And I say it's super important for designers or artists or creatives to be able to handle any amount of critique on what they've made. Can be really hard. So you need to know what personality type you are, and if you can handle that type of criticism on something you've made, whether it's right or wrong, because if you get emotional in your response, it ain't gonna help anything, and the company's going to suffer as a result. So for Alyssa, she takes things a little more personally because she made the item, and it's hard to be able to hear somebody diss on you. It's taking hate right to the heart.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's hard to separate.
I'm definitely the same way. I could not get on a phone for customer service and listen to someone complain about a product. Even when I was doing customer service as a bartender, and people would be like, you didn't put any vodka in my Bloody Mary. And actually, I did. The point of a Bloody Mary is to not taste the alcohol, but okay. And then like 2 or 3 people would come up from the same party and say the same thing, and I just freaking lose it on them. I'm like, nah, I'm no good with that. Like, I mean, I get it when I've thoroughly made a mistake, you know, I'll be like, okay, yeah, you're right. But when the person just comes at me sideways, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So good on you guys for being level-headed.
Yeah, well, so Alyssa was hung up on, and I was like, all right, well, let me try. This is the part where it got better, okay? Because that was the part where it was bad.
This is the part was better.
So I called, and I called her back immediately and was like, hey, you know, I heard there was an issue. And that's another thing, is like, not to address it in a way is to be defensive. It's like, hey, I heard there was an issue. I want to help as soon as possible, to mention, like, I would like to help whatever is going on. And I think once I said that, the guards started to come down. The barrier was like, all right, well, there's somebody who's at least attempting to help. So for most situations, that actually works. There's still some times where, like, even that kind of approach is not really going to get you anywhere. But ended up getting her to a point where by the end of the phone call, you know, oh, thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. Would definitely come back and, you know, shop with you guys. And I think turning those, like, really emotional moments where people are heated, because she was, in her instance, she was mama bearing. She wanted to make sure that her daughter was being treated right. Mm-hmm. And, like, you got to understand that. So if you know who you're talking to, and, like, you know, I doubt that she would. Actually, I know the products weren't for her. It was for her daughter. So, like, from the beginning, it's like, okay, like, how do you make sure that you let her know that her daughter's going to be taken care of? And you know, reiterating that, I think, made a big difference. But we turned a pretty negative moment into something positive, and I'm pretty sure they've ordered again. So. Oh, good. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I like those ones. I love being able to talk to someone who's mad.
You and I are opposite in that sense. Yeah. That just makes me more mad. I can't believe your pre-workout, you know, doesn't get in the way. It doesn't. Just gets you jacked up.
It doesn't. No, but McKenna's does.
Yeah, totally. I've totally seen McKenna go mongoloid in the office for sure. That was a total joke. McKenna's like the most sweet, level-headed person ever.
Which is why she crushes customer support.
So again, you guys, we don't control the package once it leaves Freedom Ravewear. So next time you're stressing on that, you know, just remember, we're not really the ones that are handling that, and maybe try as a good customer to get your orders in more than a day or 2 in advance before your event, so that you know for sure that you will get it on time.
I think also, with that being said, is to, like, make sure to try and do your best to contact the delivery system, which is usually USPS, just to try and track down your package, because there's not really much more we can do. I mean, we can try our best and we can call USPS too, but they usually don't give us very much information.
Yeah. The tracking number is like, that's all we're really going to get.
Yeah.
That's the morsel they give us. And when it's, you know, shipping label created, so times when you do want to call and make sure that things are good, if it's been more than 2 days since the time, and this isn't just for Freedom Raver, but if it's been like more than 2 days since the label was created and it still says it's sitting in that spot, that's when you do want to, like, send an email and say, like, hey, has this shipped? Because there are times when the item may not have shipped, but the person they've printed the label, it gives the date, they've been given a tracking number, but it hasn't been picked up. So that's something that
an extra push.
Yeah, that you might want to give. Now, there are, on the opposite end of that, there are times when we've created a label, had it ship out the same day, and 3 days later it still says it's sitting at our office. So the reason for that is that USPS might not scan the package when they pick it up. It might go into their processing center. It might get shipped out and it hasn't been scanned by anybody that's been updated, or it might take time to update. And all of a sudden, you know, on the 3rd day, it shows up as like, it's shipped from San Diego and now it's in New York. You know what I mean? There's like, nothing in between that. So you do want to keep an eye on it. But like you said, it's 100% like the smart thing to do to order in advance of your event, or shop with companies that like ship quickly, and we do everything we can to get our orders out within 24 hours. So if it's not out within 24 hours, basically, I said this to McKenna the other day, it's like you're winning. Actually, was that you, McKenna? It might have been a customer. I think actually it was a customer. Yeah, sorry guys. This is what happens. I was like, you better hope that it doesn't show up on time, because it's going to be like Christmas for you, because I'll hook you up. So like, meaning, what I mean by that is that if we somehow fail by not getting a package to somebody in time, or with something on our end that we made a mistake, we're giving out store credit, we're giving out face gems, we're giving out anything we can in addition to the product to be able to maintain that relationship.
This is true. I've seen this happen. I've been in the office thinking about new podcasts to record, and Alyssa comes in and is like, Mike, we didn't send this package out, and then they throw like a hood in or something. So
we'll hook it up.
I mean, don't like bank on them screwing up your order, but just know that they're here for you. They're here to take care of you if the mess up comes on their end. Yeah. Do you guys have any lasting points to give on the customer service topic?
McKenna, you can jump on this. Like, what is an easy day for you when it comes to customer service?
Positive reviews, positive things. I mean,
is that what makes do you get a satisfaction from that?
Yeah, I mean, I like hearing from customers that they enjoyed, or like that they liked their product, that they're happy with their order. Seeing the customer photos and everything is always super fun, being able to see how people style their outfits and make it their own.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We have incentives for that kind of stuff too. So like, if you purchase something from us and you get the review email that says like, hey, leave a review, there's a coupon that comes with it as well. So leave a review, post a photo. I think there's 2 different coupons. If you leave a review, you get like, I'm spitballing here, I want to say it's like 15% off your next order, and if you post a photo, it's like 20%.
Sweet.
So it's a good amount of savings, and it really helps, because that's like one of the main things people look at in order to inform their buying is, what did somebody else think of this? So
yeah, definitely.
You do your part by sharing your experience, because somebody else can figure out if hey, I had a large item and it didn't really like fit me just right, and this was my size, and somebody else has that size, and they're like, oh, okay, maybe I should like think about sizing down on it. So there's just a lot of benefit from being able to learn from other people.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think that's like huge.
Definitely. And like when customers post the pictures, other customers can get inspiration from them and see like, oh, this person layered a net top over the marble bra or what have you, and then get other ideas for their next event, because sometimes people are stuck and they don't know what to do, and your photo might give some other person inspiration. So that's really awesome.
It definitely does for me. Like, I've seen people style some things that I've like never would have thought to do, and then I'm like, oh, that looks really good. Like, that'd be cool to do next time. So.
Yeah, definitely.
So your outfits are going to be on point then. You've just been getting saturated with all of this like
exposure.
Every day. Like, oh my God, you see the best outfits come in all the time. This is great.
You hear that, guys? You're fueling McKenna's event outfits. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Well, this has been a great topic. Thank you so much, McKenna, for joining us today.
Enjoying. It's when you join and enjoy.
Enjoy and enjoying. I just made up a word. Until next time, guys, this has been the FRW podcast. Thanks and good night.